Hello everyone, I am Aluminium Man and I am back with a brand new video. So with the War Table reveal, we got a mountainous amount of information, mainly all regarding the beta, apart from a couple of things towards the end, which relates more to the game's official release, which we will get to. But first, I want to cover everything, or attempt to cover as much as I can that we got in the reveal gameplay. Because there's so much to get through, I'm just going to get straight into it. The first thing we need to talk about is the main story mission that we're going to get in the beta. This mission is going to be the Golden Gate Bridge, which is what's going to lead into the events of the A-Day. So I presume it will be the first chronological part of the main story that everyone will play, be it in the beta when the game officially releases. Now, from what I've seen and from what was said in the War Table, this Golden Gate Bridge mission is going to consist of a variety of different scenarios. We'll most likely get an opportunity to play as all available heroes, which will be Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, and the Incredible Hulk. There won't be any Kamala Khan at this point, as she doesn't come into the story until after A-Day, as those events are what leads to her mutation and her gaining her superpowers. There will be an opportunity to experience how each character will play, essentially allowing us to take the first steps in the game, figuring out how the game feels and plays, which makes a lot of sense not just from a gameplay viewpoint, but also in terms of the story as well. Crystal Dynamics don't want to give us a part of the main story a few missions in, as it could throw us into the deep end and potentially spoil any moments that we otherwise would get the joy of discovering as we follow and invest time and emotions into the story and the characters. At the end of this mission, there will also be a Taskmaster boss battle, so despite the absolute annihilation of smaller foes, there will be an opportunity to put our skills to the test and duke it out against a more competent opponent. Now, we're going to get into the villains a little bit later because there's more to talk about, especially with another boss battle that was revealed. It seems as though this mission, regardless that it's in the beta, has been designed to introduce players into how Marvel's Avengers will work, which personally I think is a great idea. I'm super excited to jump straight in and, to put it politely, people up. Now, after the story mission, we're getting the opportunity to play a hero mission, which is going to continue on from the main story, however, it's in a non-linear format. So, take Call of Duty for example. Once you've completed one mission in the campaign, it's on to the next one, and so on until you reach the end. However, in Marvel's Avengers, once you've completed, say, the first mission, you can go on to play the next main mission, or you can go on and undertake hero missions, which will be specific to one hero, or in some cases, there may be a few extra heroes depending on the content of that part of the story. These missions allow you to explore the world that Crystal Dynamics are building while still mainly following that story. It's going to encourage everyone to play as all different heroes in a variety of different situations. In this hero mission we saw in the War Table, we've got just the Hulk and Kamala Khan exploring the American Pacific Northwest in search of the last known place of Jarvis. We're exploring and experiencing this part of the world through these two characters. I think mainly it's going to be Hulk's hero mission more than Kamala's, and the main reason for this is all because of Abomination. Again, with Taskmaster, we're going to talk about more about the villains later on, as we can group that together as one topic of discussion. But like with Crystal Dynamics have said before, there are going to be hero-specific regions along with hero-specific villains, which is why with Abomination showing up, this mission is really for Hulk's character in the story. If you're confused about how the hero missions differ from the main story missions, take Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, for example, the film. The story contained within that movie is all about the Guardians experiencing that part of the universe that Marvel were creating. It still served the greater overarching Infinity Saga storyline, but was specifically focusing on those characters, regions, and villains. Another great addition to the beta are the harm rooms. I assume they're going to be part of the main game as well, but it's clear why they would want to put this game mode in the beta. They are essentially the zombies mode from Call of Duty. Grab your mates or head in solo with companion AI and attempt to survive wave after wave of enemies in what could be an adaptation of X-Men's Danger Room. They're an easy and fantastic way to practice and hone your fighting skills as Black Widow or your flying skills as Iron Man. Now, the war zones are going to be such a big part of the game, not just the beta as well, but it seems as though they've literally chucked in quite a lot of Warzone content in the beta, which I think is actually really a good idea. If you're someone who wants to jump straight into the world and smash and shoot your way through a ton of enemies, then definitely look for these both in the beta and after the official release. Now, these missions are a great way to explore the world of Marvel's Avengers without directly progressing the overarching main story. They're perfect for leveling up and exploring the world that is created within this game. One of the biggest things I want to talk about when it comes to these is the announcement that they could take either 10 minutes or up to 2 hours. That's right, one Warzone mission could take you 2 hours to complete, which, if you ask me, is a whole ass gaming session. So, if you're willing to sacrifice an entire afternoon on these, then at least I won't be the only one. Now, given that they could take 2 hours to complete, either there's going to be a huge amount of content within one of these war zones, or they could just be really difficult. Either way, it's going to be a huge, challenging environment to throw yourself into. Similarly to war zones, we've also got drop zones, which are a lighter version of the war zones. They're a get in, get out situation, a quick 2-2 mission, no messing around. Crystal Dynamics understand that some people may not want to, or even have the time to spend 2 straight hours on one mission. It's likely that they're going to be focused on a smaller region, meaning that it could be less exploration focused and more fighting focused. It's good to know that we'll be getting a plethora of game modes and options to choose from, not just in the main game but in the beta as well. Now, one of the main selling components that this game is going to have is all about the customization and progression. It's clear that even in the beta, we're going to get a taste of what is to come. It may only be a small teaser compared to the complete customization that we will get in the full game, but it's more than enough, especially considering the beta is only open for a total of like 9 days, depending on which console you're playing on. So it's not like we'll have the time to go through it all. Saying that, I don't think there will even be the time to go through everything that's in this beta because they have packed it full of so much juicy content. Now, I quickly want to talk about the villains when it comes to not just the beta but the game as well, because in the war table there was a couple reveals of some smaller villains that aren't technically being classed as the main antagonist of the game. We've got Taskmaster and Abomination. Taskmaster, of course, being the boss battle in the intro story mission, and Abomination being a boss battle in Hulk's hero mission. Now, this tells us a lot about the game. If you deep it, it reveals more than what's on the surface. Like I said, the main story antagonists are AIM and MODOK, and yet we get these extra villains showing up. Now, what this tells me is that 1, this game world already has all these characters set up in the game that we just don't see. There's no introduction or major story leading up to them. They're just there. In Hulk's hero mission, you're traveling to the North America, Pacific West, or whatever, looking for Jarvis, and yet Abomination's just there. He just shows up. Now, if we've got this villain, a villain that's usually quite prominent in the comics and even was the final showdown of the Hulk solo film in 2008, so who else could just already be in the game, just waiting, chilling there, waiting for people to discover them? Crystal Dynamics could have an entire universe of characters in the world that we just don't know about, but they're already there, ready to show up, already integrated into the story. Villains like Green Goblin, Ultron, and Red Skull could be in the game somewhere doing some villainous things, waiting for us, the player, to stumble upon them within the story. And if that's the case, there could already be heroes like Black Panther panthering around Wakanda. Our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man could already be swinging around New York. The world of Marvel's Avengers could be teeming with a crazy amount of characters and stories waiting to come into play. There was even an announcement in the reveal about potential secrets to discover within the beta. If there's secrets in the beta waiting to be discovered, I can only imagine what they've got in line for the main game. Now, I think that with this game, it's not just a retelling of a story, it's not just an exploration around one character. It genuinely feels like Crystal Dynamics have got an entire world set up. They've got a main overarching story with separate different stories expanding out to different parts of the world, following different characters with different villains showing up. I genuinely think that we've got a huge game on our hands. Now, okay, let's talk about the big, big reveal that came at the end of the war table, and that is the addition of Hawkeye. That comes with the official release of the game. Now, for a couple of months, we've known that Crystal Dynamics plan to add more heroes to the game, but the fact that they've already announced one of those heroes is huge. Not only did we see Hawkeye walk all over a ton of enemies, we are told that Hawkeye will be getting his own relevant story. Now, along with that, surely we should be getting a relevant villain as well. Who that could be, I'm definitely unsure about, but I can't wait to find out either way. I'm super excited to see how he will be integrated into the main story and with the rest of the Avengers as well. What excites me more is that if Crystal Dynamics have no issue with bringing in a new hero straight away, just how many more heroes have they got lined up to be introduced? They're not thinking, let's release the game, let people invest some time into it, and then bring out some more DLC, some more heroes. They're just like, do you know what? Let's just put Hawkeye straight into the game. Which leads me to believe that they've got quite a lot of heroes and villains waiting to be introduced into the game. I really don't think anyone is ready for just how big this game is going to be. And when the beta does come out, I am going to be all over it. Just like Captain America after he went back to live with Peggy at the end of Endgame. However, that will bring us to the end of this video. I do actually want to know what part of the beta everyone else is most excited for. For me, I think it's got to be Hulk's hero mission and the showdown with Abomination. Of course, let me know down in the comments below. As always, Hulk, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all things Marvel's Avengers related. But for now, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye.